Well, the world always watches, examines, and also really looks up to wisdom from Berkshire Hathway annual event. But Raamdeo Agrawal treats it like an annual pilgrimage. Like they say in Hindi, Tirth Yatra. And he just come back from his Tirth Yatra. And why do you go for Tirth Yatra? Well, to understand more about spirituality, Raamdev ji goes for his Tirth Yatra to understand more about life and markets. So am I right that this was your Tirth Yatra? How many times you've gone for the Tirth Yatra?
At least 25 times.
How old are you, sir? I know Buffett is 92, but...
So I've been going from 95 onwards.
Wow.
So it's been, actually, initially it was not streamed. They started streaming it just 3-4 years back or 5 years back. Till then, it was very relevant to go there and listen to him firsthand and wait. Don't wait for the, some reporters to report it. But now we have the network, we have a lot of people coming in and listening from him and getting the energy in the hall. I think these are two different things compared to just the streaming.
Every Berkshire Hathway AGM has a lot of hint, lot of repetition, lot of wisdom, and lot of takeaways. So let's understand, what did you pick up as what could be called as new? What did you pick up which is old but yet wisdom?
Yeah. So I don't know how to structure it, but see the things which I learned. One is that running a $1 trillion balance sheet or $640 billion balance sheet and a $1.2 trillion company is a different ball game than what he started with in 1965 when he was running maybe $100 million balance sheet. So I think now the responses are different. He's got $350 billion of cash in hand, which is 50% of the balance sheet. And the new guy comes in. So, he has built this company in the whole life. And today he has handed over as a CEO. He said buck stops now with Greg. And he has nothing to do with this. And he'll be there only as an advisory capacity if he needs to ask me anything. Otherwise, the full thing it's a quite a lesson how transition is being handled of this side of the company. And he has also nominated his son Howard Buffett as if tomorrow he pops out, then who is going to be the chairman? Even that name is there. So I think in Berkshire's shareholders' point of view, the uncertainty which was there about the next longevity of the management, I think that has been fully taken care of. So that is one thing, that how do you handle a big transition and well in time. So that is being done. And I think for a lot of Indian companies which are of that genre, which started in 80s and 90s, and now the owners are aging up and they have to hand over to the next generation and how to do it. I think this is a good lesson for all of them. Second, I think the nature of the investment will change because his competencies were very different. Buffett's own competency is more in investing and people bring the people together and running a lot of companies. If you see the history of 60 years, they've given a book of 60 years of Buffett, 60 years of Berkshire. That's one book which was distributed or sold. One of the things is that over a period of time, they have been continuously acquiring companies and integrating with Berkshire. So now, and then he has also built, I think the biggest money was made by his investment in Apple, upwards of 150, 200 billion. So I think his investing prowess probably won't be there with Greg and Ajit. So with the new dispensation, the way to create wealth will be very different, and it will be most likely hard assets will be bought, like the energy distribution and all. So I think Greg's strength is in the hard assets, and my sense is that even Buffett was alluding to the fact that there is a lot of opportunity for building up infrastructure projects in US, and probably there's a lot of, if you see the BlackRock's annual report, even there they're talking about $68 trillion of infrastructure possibilities in the years to come. So I think my sense is that the balance sheet will look different going forward, and they will create value by investing effectively in hard assets rather than new stock ideas. I would be surprised if they're able to take a bet of $100-200 billion into a listed company or even unlisted, but by way of a stock.
But Raamdeo ji, you would perhaps appreciate the spirit of my next question, that the historical cash Berkshire Hathway is sitting on, they are not finding opportunity, or they are bearish, or they expect markets to fall. Because when the most successful long-term investing firm in the world is sitting on cash levels which are higher than what they've ever sit on, both in percentage number and in absolute number, it makes you wonder that is Buffett or Berkshire Hathaway telling you that the markets will fall?
I was thinking, he used to always say, don't bother too much about what I say, do what I do. So going by that thing, he's clearly taking a cash call in the market, and he thinks that market is at a high, and probably he was also aware of what could mean to be under Trump presidency. The kind of because Trump has already talked about the tariff thing he will take up as he gets elected. So probably just to preempt that, he might have probably decided to sit on cash. So, but he didn't seem to be bearish, at least in the AGM. He seemed to be pretty all right, and they are looking for ideas and investing. But my sense is they're starting with $350 billion of cash, and annual operating profit now is $40 billion plus. So we are looking at about more than $500 to $600 billion in next 5 years of investing, and that can be done only if you go for hard assets or assets which is the businesses which are capital intensive rather than intangible intensive. So I would think that they'll bet big on some cross country infrastructures in roads or ports or this electricity transmission. Those kind of things are, so that is a very different character of a company than what we have known so far.
Raamdeo ji, hypothetically, if you had to invest that $350 billion which Berkshire Hathaway is sitting on, you know their investment philosophy, you know what they look at, you know that they understand their competence, which is COC, circle of competence, which is that one Indian company where if you have $350 billion to invest in, you would invest in?
I would buy the Indian market only.
No. ये तो very generic हो गया. Indian markets are not cheap. Indian markets are not cheap. There is no fear in the Indian market. So ये theory नहीं चलेगी.
नहीं, see, Nikunj, the issue is that what is your investment style? If they are looking for very stable, large franchises, looking at the size of the money, then, but my style is to look more for the growth, because it's an inflationary economy, and I would go for growth. Like I would bet big on, say, like they missed on Amazon, but now Amazon of India is coming up. So I would not like to miss on that opportunity, quick commerce and all, which is building up very rapidly and very large. Like you can put $5-10 billion into this particular kind of company. So that's where I would look at it very seriously.
There was a specific mention on AI this time. There was no mention on gold, and there was no mention on Bitcoin. I wonder why Warren Buffett did not speak about gold when everybody is talking about gold.
Actually, the question didn't come up. Even the AI thing came up because somebody asked very specifically about the insurance, impact of AI on insurance. And then Ajit and all they spoke about the impact of AI which can have on the insurance and AI and the newer technology in EV and all. So if the accident rates go down, then obviously the auto insurance policies required will be of lower value, and hence they said the whole business structure will change eventually, and instead of becoming consumer oriented, which is you buy separate policies being sold to the consumers, they will sell policies to the product guys who are going to take all the responsibilities of the accidents and whatever happens.
One other question is that he owns about what 5% of the total US equities now, and he has so much of cash that he can buy S&P 50% of S&P 500 companies.
No, 5% of US equity, no.
No. Treasury.
Treasury, yeah.
Treasury. I beg your pardon, not equities.
Yeah.
If you're putting money in US Treasury at a time when you know that there is fear of inflation, dollar debasing is starting, US may lose its status of being the superpower, tariffs will backfire. Is it a good idea to perhaps park money into US Treasury because central banks are not trusting US Treasury?
No, but he's American citizen. The company is American, so it is better than cash. I mean, U.S. Treasury is very liquid, and you are getting 4.7, 4.8%. So I think this is an obvious choice instead of sitting in cash. If you're sitting on Treasury, I think, the only thing is that can the interest rate go to, instead of 4.5%, it goes to 8-9%? Then you are stuck very badly.
Okay. So Raamdeo, of all the 25 Berkshire Hathaway meetings you've attended, tell us your most memorable one.
I think one, of course, the earlier ones were the most, like you were so excited about reaching there and getting to the seat and whatever he utters, single word, and our own knowledge and understanding was so low at that point of time. Today, over 25, 30 years of repetition, I mean, literally, if any question is asked, I know bulk of the question. One question which came up yesterday, which was different day before, was that one small child, he asked about the patience. I mean, one of the things he learned is that you have a lot of patience. So he actually contradicted. He said, yes, we have a lot of patience, but when it requires to be impatient, when the deals come, we become the most impatient guy to execute the deal. So, so despite the fact that they are known for being very patient, they can be pretty aggressive when the deals come. So that's what I was one thing which was coming up in the Q&A. That question was quite stark.
Okay. And I've been told that every time you go there, you make sure that you eat that ice cream and you get candy back for your children, right? Is it true?
No, Queens. Yeah. So Dairy Queen, that you get for $1. So I mean, he owns Dairy Queen. I think very large portion of Dairy Queen is owned by him. So yes, I mean, every time you get an opportunity to eat there, but I think this time I think there are a lot of stars in the audience, apart from usual ones like Tim Cooks and Bill Gates. I think people have cited a lot of people. I think it was known. I didn't know that it is going to be the last one, but generally it was known to the people at large that this could be the last AGM of Buffett, and that's why I think audience were also behind him. The stadium, if you see, behind him used to be empty, but this time the stadium was pretty packed right till top. So clearly, I'm sure the attendance must have been record at this point of time.
Okay. Raamdeo, before we wrap markets, it's quite extraordinary, right? I mean, it appeared to everybody that after Trump, the world would be in a shaky place. But not only Indian markets have come back, US markets have also retraced their post-tariff, post-tariff losses. Why have we seen such a solid comeback in equities as an asset class, not only in India, but globally also?
I think the sell-off was out of fear. So as the fear peaked out on 2nd of April, when the so-called Liberation Day, I think markets also made bottom at that point of time. And after that, as the utterances are coming, where even Chinese stance is going to be a little more accommodative, Trump is also becoming more accommodative. And so I think they're realizing that world cannot work the way he was thinking. So now the practical aspect is coming out. If you see that Milken conference, which is on from yesterday, all the biggies are making presentations. One other thing, I think Robiny, he spoke yesterday and he said that finally the tariffs could settle for China at about 50 to 60%, and for countries like India, it will be more like around 15 to 20%. So I think the mood is building up, and people are seeing some hope that normal trade the normal trade will not be disrupted, and there'll be a way for the economy to work in a very smooth way. So one of the things I gathered while I was there in US in last 8-10 days is that the diversification of supply chain is almost given, irrespective of what is the gap in the tariffs. If the gap is there, I think it will happen faster. But otherwise, also, I think the US importers would love to build some base in India, and that looks to be completely happening for sure. And I think as the quarterly results of manufacturing companies come, maybe not June, by September, I think we'll start getting sense of which way the wind is blowing.
To wrap it up with one final question.
Yeah.
They say that India is going to be disproportionate beneficiary of what's happening in the world. Tariffs are going to be much lower than the world. The imports from China will get, exports from China will get affected. Energy and crude prices have come down. IT and pharma, they've not got affected. Do you think this entire tariff, whichever way it would swing, actually India would come right at the top of the heap in terms of a winner?
It all depends on response of bureaucracy and more importantly, the entrepreneurs, because the entrepreneurs should be able to seize this particular opportunity to put up the extra capacity and negotiate well with the buyers and make things happen, accrue the earnings to the current base of the earnings. So that is clearly there, but it looks that it's a godsend opportunity. It looks like a Y2K moment for manufacturing. In 95, for Y2K, people started coming here, and today we have $250, $300 billion software powerhouse in the world. So, can this be an opportunity for us to build a manufacturing powerhouse in the decades ahead? So it's a decadal opportunity, and it all depends on how the companies play out and how the government helps companies take this opportunity.
Well, Raamdeo Agrawal, really appreciate your time. Thank you so very much for joining us. And I would say that long live Warren Buffett. Why just this AGM? Many more AGMs to come, because that's where the magic happens. That's where the learning happens. That's where the interaction happens. And that's where, like Raamdev ji said, the real Tirth Yatra. So Raamdev ji, let's say it again. Long live Warren Buffett. Many more AGMs.
Long live Buffett.
Thank you very much. Let's take a break.